I feel used. And this has been going on since, honestly, the end of or supposedly the end of the 2020 election. Let's be honest here, though. It's still continuing because of all these major investigations and lawsuits that Donald Trump and the Trump campaign has still been filing and may potentially go to the Supreme Court, which, in all honesty, I really hope it does within the next few days because it's a major issue. And considering that the Electoral College is meeting on December 14th, I say that they need to take this case up quickly. I mean, it's less than 2 weeks from now at this point. And already we've been seeing more and more evidence of electoral fraud. I'm not just talking about affidavits. I'm not just talking about other reports of irregularities. I'm not even talking about statistics. I'm talking about what happened in Georgia. Although I will be talking a little bit about Michigan, I say that Georgia is the biggest bombshell. Because in the Georgia hearing, an election hearing, there was footage of one of the polling station's surveillance cameras. And in the surveillance cameras, it shows people telling a lot of these other pollsters, Republican pollsters, that they're done counting and that they can go home. And everyone leaves. Except 4 people. Those 4 people decide to stay. And to further top it off, they take out boxes which they hide under their desk and put it on top. This possibly suggests that they are ballots. Fraudulent ballots. This is evidence. I'm honestly, every time when I see a new piece of evidence showing this, I feel again used. I feel as though I've been just screwed over multiple times. Even though, to be fair, I voted 6 years ago. The first time I ever voted in the presidential election was in 2016, and that was for Donald Trump. And that was before I made this channel. I just wonder, how long has this been going on? I wonder, because of the whole mail-in issue, the coronavirus, and of course with Donald Trump being the 45th president, has this amplified? And I honestly think it is, because the Democratic Party and even some rhinos within my party are trying their best in order to remove him. I don't need to recount the multiple times they have tried to remove Donald Trump from office using multiple legal procedures. But now they're going so far as to use illegal procedures such as stuffing ballots. And that's just one of many instances. Dead people voting. Just in Nevada, a cash for votes scheme. People out of state voting for a state that they left. A higher turnout rate, especially in Michigan, at least 104% or 120%, with more votes than registered voters. I'm sorry, this is not a real legitimate election. And I believe I actually told you guys about this. The FEC chairman himself actually agrees with this assessment, that due to the irregularities that he's seen, he agrees with the Trump campaign, saying that this is not a legitimate election whatsoever. Although it's really irritating how much people do not know about this stuff. Hell, CNN, Fox News, a lot of these other major news organizations, the mainstream media, or as I like to call it, the industrial media complex, kind of like the industrial military complex, they do not report on this because they know that Donald Trump actually has something. Here's the thing. These guys and I'm also I should also attack big tech for as well, like Twitter and Facebook, because they've been um trying to claim what information is true, what information is not, especially in the case of Donald Trump. Hell, a lot of the stuff that he's been showing, news articles, or video. Hell, he even reposted the Georgia video that I just recently talked about here on his own Twitter thread, and they have that this whole electoral fraud is disputed notification bullshit on at the very end. Who are they to judge? Really, who are they to judge? These guys have been intentionally trying to attack the president for 4 years. They've been pushing the Russian collusion narrative for 3 years. Got the government to spend $40 million to investigate all this for possible wrongdoing, and there was little to no evidence that suggested that Trump colluded with the Russians, and they still spread it like wildfire. But when there's over 400 affidavits, a lot of proof, a lot of reported errors of irregularities going on, even video evidence and statistical evidence showing the impossibility of Joe Biden actually winning this election, they just say there's no voter fraud. There is no voter fraud whatsoever. Move along, you little plebe. And it really irritates me to no end. I would love to say more words, but in all honesty, I can't, and I honestly can't because trying to maintain my composure. Plus, I have to go to sleep pretty soon after I make this video. But we already have a lot of sworn testimony that shows this. Witnesses, including in the Michigan hearing. People having made sworn affidavits telling their stories in front of the entire legislature that was part of this hearing. And let me remind you about affidavits. Affidavits, when you sign them, you are agreeing that this is your story and you're sticking with it. And according to the courts, this may count as evidence. However, if you lied, you could potentially go to jail. Over 400 affidavits of people, of witnesses, telling of electoral or voter fraud. And this supposedly does not count as evidence. Bullshit. Total bullshit. Considering what's been happening with it, especially with these major bombshell allegations, major bombshell reports that have honestly been popping up everywhere. I mean, Pennsylvania. I made a video about that. Arizona. Hell, oh my god, Arizona is such a bad mess. Doug Ducey, oh my god. I honestly thought that he would actually keep his word on not certifying the results in Arizona until the lawsuits themselves have been fixed or just ended. Nope, he completely did a 180 and decided to certify in the middle of the election fraud hearing that Rudy Giuliani was a part of. And of course, Michigan. I've already again told you about the witnesses testifying and the fact that there's a higher turnout than there should have been. There should not have been 120% turnout. There should not have been 104% turnout. Hell, 100% turnout? That would mean every registered voter voted. And last time I checked, there are numerous cases where even registered voters thought, screw it, I'm not going to vote. Hell, this happens even in Australia, where there's mandatory voting, and they have a 92% turnout rate. 92, not even 95%, and they still certified it. And finally, with Georgia, dear God, honestly, this entire election is this pisses me off because I think I can speak to millions of Americans when I say we've been screwed over. Donald Trump was leaning ahead in all of these states. In Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, in Arizona. I can't recall Nevada, but I'm pretty sure he may have been at the very least close. And supposedly after a few days, they just managed to declare Joe Biden the winner, or at least the media decides to declare Joe Biden the winner, which is complete BS. By the way, I know that a lot of other channels have actually talked about the whole electoral fraud, like Mr. Obvious and those people. But I just also wonder. Here's another thing that I want to also add. In past elections, they have already pronounced their candidate on election day. In 2004, George Bush was reelected on that day, already determined, or at least by the media. In 2008, Barack Obama. In 2012, Barack Obama. 2016, Donald Trump, all on election day. And then come 2020, they just waited for 3 days until supposedly Joe Biden managed to gain the necessary votes in order to take Donald Trump's lead. BS. Total BS. Honestly, considering what I've seen in Georgia, I think that this is just one of many bombshells that President Donald Trump may have. I think he's just trying to save some of them either for future use or potentially for the Supreme Court. And I think that considering what's been going on, it will potentially go to the Supreme Court in a few days. I don't know. I don't know entirely, but I think that may be the case, especially since this is such a big issue. We're already seeing major irregularities. Hell, while it is Bill Barr and the DOJ are still investigating. While they have said to the Associated Press that they themselves, as they are investigating, have not seen widespread fraud, he did say it does show within his professional language that there was fraud, but maybe not enough to supposedly change the electoral process. Honestly, I disagree heavily on that. I'm pretty sure that there's more than enough fraud to change the electoral process, which turned in favor for Joe Biden. But the way that the AP and of course a lot of these other mainstream media outlets, they just reported it as if the DOJ already concluded their investigation, which is not true. But I still have issues with the DOJ, especially with how Dominion is acting and with them trying to scrub their servers and stuff. This needs, with a lot of these allegations just coming out, more investigations are warranted. People on Twitter or the radical left may say, "Oh, this is too stupid. There is no evidence. You're just a bunch of whiny losers." First of all, fuck you. Because you never accepted Donald Trump's win in 2016, and there was no evidence to prove that he was, again, colluding with Russia for 3 years. 3 years you had ample time to investigate. It has already been a full month, and I have seen witness testimony, other reports of irregularities, statistical data, and now surveillance footage showing this. So what's your excuse? I hope over time, as this video is being made, on December 3rd, 2020, that more bombshells are released. And not only that, the Supreme Court manages to do its duty, take up the case, and I really hope they side with Donald Trump on this one. Not just sign the evidence and the major irregularities and errors that have been plaguing all 6 states, 6 swing states, but also in terms of constitutionality. I really hope that's the case. At the very worst, there may be conservative defections. I don't think that may be the case. That could be through Brett Kavanaugh. I don't know. However, I think it may be a 5-4 decision with a conservative faction of the Supreme Court ruling in favor for Donald Trump. I will be surprised if Chief Justice John Roberts decides to actually do his duty and side with the conservatives. Because again, constitutionality and the massive evidence of voter and electoral fraud. Hell, I would be even more surprised if there was one liberal justice that sided with the conservatives on this one. But we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see when and if this gets to the Supreme Court. I expect it to get to the Supreme Court. And whatever happens, it's definitely going to have a major influence in our election. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I talk, how I frame my videos, how I speak, anything whatsoever, please post them down in the comment section down below or directly message me. Thank you.
Almost